Cool. Welcome everyone to our AO Infinity Wand call, our information Zoom. My name's Amanda Adey and I'm down in Melbourne, Australia. And I've been with Solex for 3 years and I've been using the wand since about January. So I don't claim to be an expert, but I am here to give you some information, and me and Sandra are both going to explain how we both use it in our private practices. Oh, hang on, it's turned on.
Can't hear it.
Quite loud. Me as a kinesiologist, so I use it in my private practice, and Sandra as a massage therapist. So we're going to come from two different angles and we'll explain that more at the end. So yeah, we don't claim to know it all, but we have got some information that we've researched and gathered, and we've been using it for ourselves too. So yeah, we hope you enjoy the presentation, and we'll leave questions until the end. So I'll hand you over to Sandra.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Sandra. I've probably been involved in Solex. I got involved in Solex because of Amanda. So I think it's probably 2.5 years now. And I've had my wand since January. I think we ordered it. We pre-ordered it, didn't we, late last year? It took a few months to come through. I use it a lot with my clients, either as a standalone treatment or as part of a massage treatment. And I'll talk about that probably a little bit later on, because we're going to talk about all about the technical stuff about terahertz and things first. And like Amanda said,
beautiful.
We're not experts on the science of this. This is the research that we've found through other people. So just bear with us. There's a lot of big words and things that are sometimes a bit tongue twisty to pronounce.
All right, let's jump in.
Let's go.
So can everyone see that? Okay. Is that thumbs up, Sandra? You can see that?
I can see. Yep, I can see. Thank you.
All right, so obviously we're here to talk about the AO Infinity Wand, and it does look like a little bit of a hairdryer. Yes, and I promise you can also dry your hair with it, and Sandra does. I know she does that regularly. I haven't done a lot of that, but I think you do it with your hair and you also do it with your dog. So let's jump in.
I dry my hair with the wand every time I dry my hair. So I usually just wash my hair once a week. I washed it a couple of days ago and used the wand on it. And what I noticed is that my hair feels silkier, and my hairdresser has actually commented that it feels a bit thicker, because my hair's really, really fine. It only takes me 5 minutes to use it. And because I like the way that it feels, makes my hair feel, and I like the warmth that comes from the heat, I actually use it on my dog as well whenever I wash him, and he seems to respond really well to it. So I just keep playing around with it and see what benefits he notices. But I digress. So let's get started. We're going to talk today about what is terahertz frequency. So terahertz is really a unit of measure of frequency radiation on the human body's nervous system's neuron structure and function. So this allows for the transfer of electromagnetic waves in terahertz, which is a unit of measurement using nanotechnology. So what they've found is that terahertz therapy via electromagnetic waves have been beneficial, had a really beneficial impact on our nervous system, on our nervous system's neuronal function and structure. And the terahertz radiation can benefit the neurons by altering the neuronal growth or development that are related to the DNA. So we all know that the DNA is the basic fundamentals of what makes us up, and it promotes the processes by which new and healthy nerve cells are generated. So it mentions here that it can demethylate cancer cells and increase the speed of regeneration. And by that, it means really it's just getting rid of nasty cells and regenerating new cell growth and healthy cells. And when terahertz frequency penetrates the body, passes through the healthy cells at a normal temperature. But when it passes through the unhealthy cells, it causes them to vibrate faster, which increases their cellular temperature and ultimately destroys the damaged cells in the process.
Beautiful. So
Thank you.
yeah, the terahertz is also known as waves, as high frequency, as T waves, as T lights, as I researched. So it's got a few different names.
Hmm.
So why use terahertz frequencies? So the wand has terahertz, and we're going to get to that. It has some other beautiful other features in there too. But the first one we're looking at is the actual terahertz frequencies. So it's used as a non-ionizing electromagnetic wave that penetrates deep into the body, reaching all the way to the bone marrow. So what it actually does, this terahertz, is it improves your blood circulation. It can strengthen your immune system. It can eliminate unhealthy cells, which we just talked about. It can activate dormant cells. It can increase self-healing and to the DNA level. And it can clear things like lymph points in the body. It can clear meridians. So that's part of the Chinese medicine fundamentals. It can improve microcirculation of the blood. It can also regulate the whole endocrine system and protect your organs. It removes dampness from the body. So when we've got water retention or fluid, it cleanses blood impurities and it can eliminate unhealthy cells. So that's just the terahertz frequencies. We're going to get to the other benefits of all the other features too, as well. So it does a lot of pretty cool things, the terahertz. Yeah, so you could use it for, when you're sick, when you're working on a gland in the body. A lot of people complain about water retention and fluid retention in the body, things like that.
Okay, so from the research that we've undertaken, that we understand that the AO Infinity Wand is the only one of its kind in the market, because there are lots of other terahertz wands available, but the one that we're demonstrating tonight is really a holistic terahertz wand. And we say that because it uses cutting edge technology, which is the terahertz technology, but it also has other properties with it, which is gold and silver ionic exchange. And we'll talk about those in a moment. It's got integrated semi-precious stones, and there's 7 of those, and they are linked up to the chakra system. And we'll talk about those in a moment too. It also has red and blue light therapy, and it's got precise temperature control. So it's got 4 different settings, and when it's combined, and actually the warmth of the way that the heat comes out of it, it's actually a really soft heat. There's something really soothing about it, and I think that's a combination of all this technology that's been put together in this one wand.
It's so relaxing just to feel the temperature on the body. Yeah,
It's lovely, isn't it?
beautiful. So let's talk about the silver ions that are in the actual wand. So there's silver and there's gold. So let's talk about the silver. So there's significant health benefits that have been used in many, many cultures for things like antimicrobial agent. It can fight infections. It can aid in colds and flus and wound healing. So you might want to just get out the wand because you've got a cold and flu and take that through that, the lungs and the respiratory area, because it's got the silver ion in it. It can also charge and creates this conductive field that reflects this radiation away from the body, and it stimulates the natural conductivity, which improves your blood circulation, your body temperature, and your overall well-being. So it's also positively charged, the silver ion, so it binds to negatively charged oxygen receptors in bacteria, which is why silver can fight against things like infections and disease. So it's not only got the terahertz, we're now bringing in the silver ions, which does things like infections and wounds and flus and colds and things like that. So that's pretty cool that you could get it out, and if your child's sick or your partner's sick, you could give them a bit of a wanding for those sorts of things as well.
Yeah. I've used it actually for my husband when he's had a sore throat and just done it around his chest, and that's help to ease any discomfort. So the other one of the other benefits is it's got gold ions in it as well. So gold and silver ionic exchange. And civilization has been using gold for healing purposes for centuries. The Egyptians used it, they had it for healing. They also obviously wear it in jewelry and dentistry. The Romans and the medieval Europeans also used it for skin problems and to help relieve pain from any sore limbs that they have. But many people, even today, they believe that if you place 24 karat gold on an infected body part, that it will aid in wound healing because gold has this really lovely warm energy and offers a beautiful soothing vibration. And I know, particularly in India, they wear a lot of 24 karat gold, and some of that is because of the medicinal purposes that the benefits that gold has. There's also use of gold salts, sorry, salts. I got a bit tongue-tied then. And they're mainly used to treat rheumatoid arthritis, but they've also discovered that gold salts can be used for treating other types of rheumatologic diseases as well. So you can see that, you've got the terahertz, the gold and the silver. Then we're about to talk about red and blue light therapy and the stone. So you can start to see just how powerful and how much benefit it's got just coming out of this wand to help heal your body and aid in rejuvenation and regeneration. Over to you, Amanda.
Beautiful. And the silver and the gold, it's always, the ions, they're found in things like medicine, electronics, nanotechnology. So they have been around, and this is just one of the features in this wand. So it also, oops, hang on a minute. As we talked earlier, it also brings in semi-precious stones. And so we've got quite a few here that are in the wand. So the first one is lapis lazuli. And as you can see, we've got all these different qualities that are now coming through. So with this particular crystal or stone, it can help things like your immune system, your blood, can lower blood pressure, can soothe inflammation. It can alleviate insomnia and vertigo and helps to overcome depression. So I know a lot of people do use the wands late at night, and I have too, around the head and around the back, just to sort of relax you. And it's helped me get a good night's sleep when I do it. So we've got all these properties. So you can also think of it a little bit like a crystal wand as well. It's also got amethyst. So amethyst is really, really good for stress, soothes irritability, it balances the mood, helps dispel and release things like anger, rage, fear, and anxiety. It alleviates sadness and grief. It dissolves any negativity. It activates our spiritual awareness, opens up our intuition, and can enhance our psychic abilities. So following on, we've got the carnelian crystal, which is considered a lucky stone. It boosts your self-esteem, creativity, motivation, love, passion, and courage. And it's believed to attract prosperity, new resources, and good luck. And it's a bit of a money-making stone as well. So followed on by amazite, which is a soothing, which has a soothing effect on the nerve, releasing tension, enhances love. It's good for the throat and heart chakra. And a lot of people wear these sorts of precious stones as jewelry, but these are actually also in the wand. So as you're blowing that air, that cool or hot air through, it's coming through these precious stones as well. So as you're starting to see, it's doing a lot of different things. And so you might bring it out, as I said earlier, for the immune system. You might want to release some emotions. And, I was working on a lady a few months ago, and she hasn't really done any emotional work, but she came because she had this pain down her leg that she can't get rid of. And we just went in really, really slow, and we just did 20 minutes. And the next day she couldn't stop crying. So all her suppressed emotions were coming through. So whether that's from the terahertz, whether that's from these beautiful precious stones, it also is moving a lot of emotional junk out of the body, as it says here. So that's only happened to one client that I know of so far. The rest have been able to handle it pretty well. But I do notice if you've never done any emotional work and you do a wanding session on someone, it can bring some stuff to the surface.
You know, I had a client here a few weeks ago, a young guy, and I used the wand on him because he plays he does what's it, jiu-jitsu or something. He does a lot of physical movement, and he felt fantastic after he had his wanding session, and then a little bit later he was feeling a little bit worn out and flat, and actually had to go and have a lie down. So it probably stirred up a lot of stuff, which can happen. So that's why they say it's always really important to go low and slow when you're using the wand, because you just don't know how people are going to respond to it. But some of the other crystals that are also in the wand, so there's quartz, and this is a really beautiful crystal for providing balance. It's great for harmonizing and stabilizing your environment, and also helpful in romantic relationships. So it amplifies healing energy, particularly effective for chronic fatigue. So any arthritis or bone injuries, depression, diabetes, fibromyalgia, and intestinal troubles. And I've used it a couple of times for people with arthritis, and I'll talk about that in the testimonial later. But it's had some even after one session, it's just making such an impact. People are really noticing the difference. So there's also sodalite, which has really calming energy and promotes inner peace, enhancing your mental clarity. So this is a really popular stone for meditation and stress relief. Sodalite encourages effective communication, which I think is so important for all of us, and our own self-expression. So it's a really valuable crystal for improving your interpersonal relationships. It connects to the throat chakra, so it helps you speak your truth and communicate with authenticity. And it's a real sought after gemstone for those that are seeking emotional balance, mental focus, and enhancing their communication skills. And then the seventh stone, the semi-precious stone that's in there, is jasper. And jasper comes in many different forms, but this is considered a really powerful healing stone, and it is regarded as a gemstone that gives a beautiful sense of well-being and intensifying that feeling of well-being. It's a stone of gentleness and relaxation. So I think, you can start to see now just how much is inside this amazing piece of equipment, right? And just even with all of the things that we've spoken about now, you can see you can be as creative as you want as to how you use this and the benefits that you can receive because of all the beautiful properties that it has inside it. Over to you, Amanda.
Beautiful. So we're just going to move on to the next part, which is inside this wand is red and blue light therapy. So that's pretty cool. So red light therapy uses the therapeutic application of light energy to aid scarring and tendonitis. So, it's a bit of a thing at the moment, the red and the blue light therapy everywhere. So, yeah, it's pretty cool that this is in the wand as well. So we can expose the body to a low wavelength to red light, and this can stimulate and increase energy in the cells, can lead to many, many health benefits. So the blue light helps with things like alertness and memory and brain function and your mood. So we're combining both the red and the blue light. And it's non-invasive, it's painless, and it emits that blue and red light, and it also blows through the wand cool air, warm air, and hot air. So we only use the cool air. Generally, I guess if the person's sensitive, they might want it cool, but especially if you've over the face, you should use cool air. And if you've got any metal things in the body, try to avoid that or use the cool air. And the rest, I find, the others 1, 2, and 3, I sort of, turn it up as the person can handle it, and turn it back down as I go. But the hot air is very relaxing, and it provides a really nice relief to the body. So combining those two therapies.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually use it on the hottest heat because I always I always feel cold, but I don't find that it's, sometimes if you have the heat of a hairdryer, it actually feels like it's too hot and it's burny. I find that the heat from the wand doesn't have that sensation. It's more relaxing and soothing than it is really burny heat, isn't it? You find that, Amanda?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you can, depending how close you put it to the body or how far away as well.
Hmm.
But I think that some of my pain clients kind of like, oh, just put it on the hottest. Let's go. What do
So
you
you may be curious to know what's the difference between terahertz and infrared. And I pulled the short straw to read this one out. So I'll keep it really simple, but really terahertz and infrared, they're just parts of the electromagnetic spectrum, but they occupy different frequency ranges. And so because they have different frequency ranges, that gives them different distinct properties and applications. So I won't, you can see that terahertz has a lower frequency range to infrared. Terahertz waves, they can penetrate non-metallic materials like clothing, paper, and plastic. So I usually wand on naked skin. I prefer to do it like that, but it's equally effective if you can go over clothing because it will penetrate. Okay, it's less and terahertz waves are less energetic than blah, 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 infrared waves, which means they're less likely to cause molecular or atomic excitation, but they're also suitable for non-invasive imaging and spectroscopy, right? Whereas infrared ray, do you know what? I always have trouble saying my R's, so this is like a real tongue twister for me. Infrared waves, right, can penetrate some materials, but they're generally absorbed by water and other substances. And they're more energetic than terahertz waves, and they're commonly associated with heat as they are emitted by warm objects.
Yeah, so we've got both. They can penetrate or not. And so bringing them together is perfect whether you've got clothes on or not. Okay. So let's have a look. Combining these terahertz and the red and blue wave consists of the following. So we're kind of building up from what it can do. That, a lot of this is a little bit repetitive because it's a terahertz, but a few extra things with the red and blue light waves has now come in. So it works on the mitochondria, it eliminates damaged cells, it activates dormant cells. As we said, it improves the blood circulation. We can start to unblock congested meridian channels. We can help with the hormones and the glands. It boosts the immune system. It improves cellular oxygenation into the body. A couple of things we hadn't mentioned, it softens all the connective tissue through the body. It relaxes the muscle fibers. So it's really, really good for musculoskeletal aches, pains, and stiffness. That's what I've been using a lot of it for with my elderly parents and some clients, really looking at pain sites and inflammation and aches and pains in the body. It also helps with self-healing with the DNA. It clears lymph points. So if you know where those lymph points are in the body, you could wand those areas. And as we said earlier, it helps with the water retention and cleanses the blood.
Okay, so using the Infinity Wand, I know that there's a few people on the call that already have the wand and they're using it. Look, there's many ways that you can use it, and I mentioned before, you can just use your imagination. You can go straight to where there's some pain or discomfort or inflammation or soreness and wand it. Or you can use any of the body, the maps that our body has, which relate to our organs and tissues, because that helps to boost and support things and clear things as well. So you can use it to stimulate your vagus nerve, which is real. It's what's the longest nerve in your body, and it goes through. I think from the top of your body all the way down to the bottom, and really good for soothing your nervous system. If you're familiar with the chakra system, you can use it to balance your chakras. You can do reflexology points on your hands and your feet, or even around your ears. You can use it as a natural facelift. You can use it with essential oils. You can use it with serums. You can use it to balance your meridians, which are the energy pathways in your bodies. You can put it on acupressure points. And again, you can use it on your lymphatic points and drainage areas, because remember that outside of your skin, the lymph is the second most important source for removing toxins out of your body. So if if you're getting a cold or something, you can do under your arms where all your lymph is, and around your neck, and then around your groin, and really help drain, help support your lymph to get rid of all the toxins that are in there. And that's just some of the ways that you can use it. But you could just, like I said, put it on the pain points, on a lower back, on ankles, on knees. I sometimes, after I've dried my hair, I will actually just hold the wand and have the heat at my occiput, which is the back of my skull, because I just find that so soothing and relaxing. And I only put it there for a couple of minutes, but it just really, I find it really, really nurturing, really, really lovely. What about you, Amanda? What do you do?
Yeah, so I use it two ways. I use it in practice with my kinesiology clients. So if it comes up, it might come up that we're working on a particular structural issue in the body, or a muscle, or a pain site, and I might use it for 5 minutes on that pain site. And I find it quite effective, well, probably a little bit more effective, because I'm also getting this story that's held in the body through kinesiology and the emotions. So, we had an example with a client's shoulder, and once we got to the emotional component, his range of movement completely shifted. We'd been doing kinesiology, and then we got the infinity wand, and his range of movement and changed so much that night he went home and he researched the wand and he bought it. I hadn't even told him at this stage what it was, because it was so new. He was so impressed that he went out and got it straight away. So a few of my clients are actually buying them as well, because they're seeing the benefit. Rather than coming to me for like half an hour sessions, they're like, well, I might as well use this every day at home. So they are investing in the wand themselves, which we'll talk about in a moment. But you don't have to be a practitioner to use this. So I just want to stress that, even though we've kind of given you a few little fancy, reflexology points and meridians, and you might be like, what the hell is that? You can just use this intuitively, obviously just point and wand wherever you want. You can go up and down the body, you can stay in a particular area, go slow, sort of start to see, can your person handle more than 5 minutes? Can they handle 20 minutes? There is research that an hour of wanding is 40 massages.
Mm.
So that's what I've read. So, you don't have to do this, whole hour program on someone. It could be just a quick, 15-minute session over a few. And I do find that you do need sometimes a few sessions, depending on how long the injury may have been in the body, because I have been working a lot with the injuries. But as you can see, you can use it when you've got a cold. You could use it just to maybe move some emotional debris that's sitting there in the body. There's, many ways that you can start to use this at home for yourself. Yeah, so charging your water. So another benefit of the AO scanner wand is we've got the benefit of charging water. So when we're stopped sharing the screen, I'll sort of show you a little bit more what that looks like. So charging your water. So terahertz frequency absorbs in water. So using the wand as an additional health benefit by structuring your own water daily, before and after treatment. So it's also, I find that, giving your client or yourself a couple of glasses of structured water before you actually do the treatment helps for the terahertz and the infinity one, all the stuff that's in there helps to absorb into the body quicker with the water, because it helps to hydrate you quicker. So structured water is known as hexagonal water and has molecules arranged in an orderly hexagonal pattern. So you can see here there's like unstructured water, and then there's beautiful samples of structured water designs here. So structured is believed to enhance the hydration. So that's why I think it's always good to give structured water before a session. And I've also been using it before kinesiology sessions, and I give everyone structured water now as well. It helps to absorb and also helps with cellular health. So unstructured water, on the other hand, lacks organization in the cells, and it reduces the efficiency of hydrating or supporting the cells. So, there's a lot of hype around structured water and different things at the moment. But I have found as soon as I started drinking structured water, I had a lot of, I had some skin stuff that I've been trying to manage from a parasite cleanse I did last year, that kind of went a little bit wrong. And as soon as I started drinking the structured water, all my skin cleared up. So I probably drink the water more than I actually do the wanding on myself, to be honest. I actually love the taste too. It's very silky and smooth when you charge the water.
Yeah, it tastes beautiful, doesn't it? So terahertz water, it breaks up the clusters, which means that your water becomes more linear and it's able to absorb into your cells more efficiently. And you can see those little images there, what regular water looks like going in, trying to penetrate a cell, and then what structured water looks like penetrating the cell. So when you drink structured water regularly, it helps to enhance the human cell activity, reduces the thickness of the blood, expels waste and toxins, and allows your cells to self-repair. I also give it to my clients before and after they have a massage, and also before and after they have a wanding session. And everybody comments on how nice it tastes and that silky quality that it has. So the terahertz water has linear water molecules, making it easier to pass through your cell membrane, through the organs and your water channels. So after it enters your body, it transports more nutrients, minerals, and oxygen that are beneficial to the whole of your body.
So the characters of the terahertz water and what it does, we've sort of touched on it, but it's easily absorbed by the human cell. So it becomes a linear structure. It's low viscosity, so 680 times lower than the normal water. Anti-radiation is antibacterial, so it helps unhealthy cells. Antioxidization, it enhances, as we said, hydration in the body more effectively and quicker. It improves how you absorb nutrients in the body. So when there's better hydration, it means your cells can absorb all the nutrients more effective. It can help increase your energy levels. So when we're properly hydrated, it boosts your energy and overall vitality. And often it's like, drink some water and then see how you feel. Maybe you're dehydrated.
Mm.
It also helps with detoxification, removes toxins from the body. It clears skin. How I was saying before, it really cleared this skin issue. And I had been to the kinesiologist. I had been on so many different herbs to try and clear this. And a lot of it was helping, but that last little bit, I reckon it was the structured water that started to clear this up completely. It's urination. Even though you might feel like you're drinking more water, you less urination because the water is linear, is structure, and it absorbs more easily, and it isn't being streamlined straight to the kidneys.
DJ just put a comment in the chat too, saying that structured water is really beneficial for pets as well. And Brian was saying, sorry, what were we going to say, Amanda?
I've started giving it to my dog too, because someone told me that a little while ago.
I think I might start doing that too. My dog's nearly 14, so it would be not, yeah, the longer I can keep him, the better. Bryony was saying she lies on her acupressure mat and she puts the wand in the stand to go up and down her body for 20 minutes before bed, and then she listens to her inner voice tunes at the same time. That'd be quite blissful, wouldn't it? Yeah, and that her daughter Estelle drinks more wanded water than unwanded water. That's really awesome. So there's a couple of ways that you can structure water using the AO Scan products. One of them is to imprint your water using your device. So you can clear. You know, you can do, for those of you that have got the AO scan technology, you can actually put your glass of water on and clear, and then you can imprint homeopathic remedies into your glass of water to help enhance the structure and the benefits of it.
Beautiful. So obviously we've just touched on this, but also with the Infinity Wand, what it does is it restructures and energizes your water. And this is a really simple method you can incorporate into your daily routine, which can make a lot of health benefits for you. So structured water can keep charged for about 17 hours, and it can be transferred into a stainless steel vessel after it settles, but keeping it in glass is what I have read is preferred. And you know, what I've also read is it doesn't matter how much water you're charging, that you only really need a minute to charge it. So whether that's true or not, that's kind of what I've been reading and seeing everywhere. And that glass seems to be the best, and to do it over or instead of through the glass. So if you've got a jug, you want to be going in that picture. I know a lot of people do it that way, and that may work, but what I've read is you need to go directly on the water.
Yeah. Yeah, I go from the top, and I usually do 2 minutes just to be sure. But if 1 minute is enough, 1 minute's enough, I guess, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean you can do more, and I'm sure it won't matter, but you know, I guess
One is
it's
enough.
experimenting. And I've also read it doesn't matter if you put it on low heat or high heat.
Okay.
Do it.
Yeah. Just about experimenting, isn't it? So this is a testimonial that's come actually from one of my clients, and she came specifically to have a wanding session because she has injured the meniscus in her knee, which is, there is a little diagram on the next slide. So if you're not familiar with the anatomy of the knee, the meniscus is that like collagen-like part of your knee, like a cartilage, and it helps provide the tissue and the sponginess so that when you disperses the body weight and stuff. So it helps to reduce any friction when you're moving. And I believe that it can, once it gets really quite damaged, that some of the ways to treat it is through surgery. And Anita was saying to me, she thinks she does a lot of hiking and a lot of walking, and she's a GP, so she spends a lot of time on her feet, and it was her right knee causing her quite a bit of pain. And we just did 10 minutes. I gave her a glass of structured water beforehand. I popped her on my massage table over here. 10 minutes, just low and slow, not on the cool heat, on the low heat. And then afterwards, I always give a little massage afterwards, because I've read that just doing a little bit of massage helps to stimulate and get things moving. And I always like to check in with my clients the next day to see how they're feeling. And you can see here, she said she felt really good yesterday. She took some naproxen, which I believe is a bit of pain relief because she's got a bit of arthritis in her thumbs. But next time she wanted to get her thumbs done as well. So I got a text message from her, I think last week. She came to see me last night, and we did 10 minutes, another 10 minutes on her knee. And then we did both of her thumbs because she's got arthritis in both of her thumbs. I just did this part really. So front and back down to her wrist and just a little bit around her wrist. And I only did 5 minutes on these together. I was going to check in with her today to see how she's feeling, but I saw an image of her at the International Lounge at the airport. So she's already there getting ready on her flight to Sweden. So I will find out how she's feeling in the next few days, and I can update. I might use that as a testimonial for the Wanding group.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So that's a good outcome. That's only one session. And she said, actually, last night, she said she noticed a difference in her knee for at least 2 or 3 days after one 10-minute session.
Amazing. Yeah. And, you know, and yeah, I don't know about you, Sandra, but yeah, with some severe long-term injuries, it can take a couple of sessions. But to get relief, for a few days, what's that worth to someone, even if they have to come back for a second session?
I know. It's quite amazing, isn't it? Oh, this one's mine
Absolutely.
too. Oh, so let me
Yeah,
tell you,
go for it.
this is a cool story. Well, I think it's a cool story. So Lisa is the owner of the hairdressing salon that I go to. And she has an Airbnb, and she referred me to some of her guests that were coming to stay from America at her Airbnb. I think it was summertime, so earlier this year sometime, right? And as a thank you, I gifted her a massage. And the day before she was coming, she said that she'd hurt her knee at golf and would it still be okay if she came? And I said, of course. And we can, I'll test the wand on you. We'll do some wanding on your knee and see how it works. And Lisa's into the frequency and things like that because she's used a lot of other alternative therapies over the years. And whenever I see her, we always talk about the stuff, all this holistic health and things. So it's actually quite good. Anyway, she came for her massage. I did a similar thing to what I did with Anita. I gave her a glass of structured water. I just wanded her knee for 10 minutes on a low heat, just low and slow, as they say. When you're first learning how to use it, they always say low and slow. I did the same thing. I massaged around her knee. And at the end of the session, I gave her another glass of structured water. And she got off the table. She said her knee feels incredible. She could already notice the difference. But then the next day, she texted me, and you can see her response here, just saying her knee feels incredible. She actually loved it so much that she purchased a wand of her own. So um, I'm super, super chuffed about that. That's a great outcome. And now she's using it. She's using it to dry hair, and she's using it on her husband and her kids and anyone else who wants to experience it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Amazing. Love it. So yes, this is one of mine. So I've been using it on my mum. She's had a few little ankle and operations in the last year. So we've kind of been wanding her sore ankles. So she had a bunion operation, and she's in her 80s. So hospitals and operations aren't great for recovery. So she was struggling, and she had a lot of pain, and she felt like she wasn't really recovering. So we did one wanding session to start with for 15 minutes, and the pain went from 7 out of 10 to 0. And she walked out the door that day pain free. And she just kept going, oh my God. As she sort of like left the front door and she was going out to the driveway to the car, she's like yelled out, oh my God, my ankles feel amazing. So I was kind of like, okay, well, let's see how long they last. So I sort of did a little bit of an experiment on that. And the pain did come back after a few days, and we've done another session, and again it goes away. But every time we do it, it lasts longer and longer, and she's walking further and further. But the other really cool thing is when we were doing her ankles once, she said, I've just had this really, really sore neck. So we wanded her neck, and that completely changed. The pain went away, and it's never come back. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, it's great to be able to, help people when they're in a lot of pain, especially your elderly parents. So yeah, she keeps saying, "Oh, when can I borrow the wand?" And when I was in Bali, I dropped it off so her and her partner could use the wand while I was away for 12 days, and they just loved it.
that's really good, actually. It's nice that you were able to do that because I don't know that I'd be willing to give mine up.
I've actually lent mine out to another friend last weekend when I wasn't well. I just said, I'm not using it. Go for it. And so she took it and used it on her partner who had done a back injury. And I said, I'll just have it for a few days and see how you go. And yeah, she loved it. So she said she'll be buying one as well when she can. So I tend to lend them out if they're local people, and I can go without it for a few days. So
Yeah, that's good. I think I've already talked about how I use it to dry my hair, but I know that DJ has a really good testimonial about Zach. And before I forget, I've just written this down. We've also got a Facebook group with that's specific to the wand that has heaps and heaps of testimonials in there. So if you're not part of it and you want to be part of it, let us know and we will add you to the group. DJ, do you want to speak about your experience, please?
Hello. Yes, I would love to.
Thank you.
So exciting actually, because I got the wand when I went over to the US actually last year in uh September. And my main reason for getting it was that my partner had had a traumatic injury to his right foot after coming like catapulting off a ladder on a second-story building. And his foot was smashed and heel was smashed, and he had had plates and screws and all the things. So the thing that really I love about this particular wand is that you can use it even when you've got metalware. So that was a huge a factor, because I know some of the other ones you can't actually do that because they don't have the ability to be set at room temperature, because that's the key with that. So anyway, we've been using it on his foot, and this year he was due after a review to have that middleware removed, have an ankle fusion, and he was non-weight bearing for 6 weeks on in a moon boot on crutches, and he's in construction, so you can imagine he was still working, but he wasn't weight bearing. So I was using the wand and obviously the other frequencies as well, but and when he went for his 6 week checkup, they said, "Oh my God, we can't believe," the surgeons were basically, "the rate of healing that we're seeing in your foot is what we would expect at the 4 to 6 month mark." And they were seeing it at the 6 week mark.
Amazing.
And it has just been incredible. And the days that, so I'm still wanting every day, but the days that I maybe, we don't get to it for whatever reason, he can definitely. So in the mornings, when he first gets up, if we're after the wanding in the evening, he can fully walk weight bear on 2 feet, and it's incredible. If I don't do the wanding, he's a bit sore in the morning. So we are really seeing the positive, like we are right in the thick of it. He hasn't even been, he had a surgery in April. We're not even 3 months in yet, and the results have just been incredible. Even the scarring, because obviously with the red and the blue light therapy, the scar looks incredible. The scar is healed really quickly. Yeah, and the bone healing has just been astounding. When he had his weight bearing x-ray, they were just like, wow, this is amazing. So I just couldn't be more happy and grateful for this technology to be able to accelerate. You can imagine, because when he first had his injury, they basically said, you may need to, you may be one of the people that can only walk with a cane in the future. And now they're talking about him being able to run marathons. So, because he was a runner prior to this injury. So we can definitely see. We went for a bike ride on the weekend. We went for a really long bike ride, and he was pain free. And so yeah, it's just this terahertz, and I can't actually even explain it. In fact, I've even learned stuff tonight, from your presentation. But all I know is that it absolutely works, and it is just the most incredible healing tool to have in your toolbox for your family. And yeah, it's amazing.
Beautiful. That's so exciting. I mean, what's that worth in rehab, in physios and blah,
Oh,
blah, blah, for people, to have their, not only to, you've got one so you can do it, but, it's probably for some people beneficial to have their own, but they can also go to a therapist like myself or
yeah,
Sandra and pay for, a
yeah,
30-minute session. So thank you for
absolutely.
sharing that wonderful story. That's great.
You're
Really, really good.
welcome.
DJ, I've just got one question for you though. How long were you wanting him for? How long were you doing his
Oh,
foot?
look, I'm a 10 to 15 minute girl.
Yeah, you
Okay.
don't
Yeah.
need that long, do you?
Don't need
I
long.
literally, no, I don't, and I really just go very intuitively, and
Yep.
I can feel, and he actually will say, I think that's enough.
Yep.
And I go, okay, then that's enough. And then we stop.
Yeah,
And it's normally around about the 10 to 15 minute mark. Yeah. So
and that's it. I mean,
it's
that's all
incredible.
I do. I do a 10-minute chat and I get them on for 20 minutes max.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a stand. So I actually stand there and wand,
Yeah, no, I do that with my clients.
which is
I
totally
stand and
fine.
wand. I prefer to stand and
Yeah.
wand. I mean, I've got the stand, but I actually like to hold while I'm wanding. I like to hold the person. Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he's still got bolts. He's still got screws through his foot for the ankle fusion. And so I wand his leg with on settings 1 or 2. And then, but when I get to the foot, the ankle and foot area, I reduce it down to the room setting,
Yep.
and I do the rest of it over his foot with the room setting, and it's totally fine.
Yeah, good. That's
Mate.
a,
Yeah.
So we're just going to finish it off with just talking about, how you can get the wand, and there's a couple of different options. So obviously, if you're already with the company, you might look at option 2 or 3. But if you're new to Solex or new to the AO Infinity Wand, and you were looking at purchasing for yourself, you'd purchase it under as a retail customer. So you're new to Solex and you just want the wand, you don't want the AO scanner, say you're not really interested in anything else but the wand, then the retail price is 1,244. And these are all in US dollars, mind you. So just so you know that there is a shipping fee because it's coming from the US or China, and it's $40. So you can see the sort of total price, and if you're using it every day, I mean, I had another client just buy one, and he exercises 3 to 4 hours a day. He's a full-on sports fanatic, and he's got injuries and he's in pain. And so we've done a couple of sessions on him, and he's just like, you know what, I'm just going to buy one and use it on myself at home with my wife. So, he was just see the benefit and using it daily on himself versus coming to see me every couple of weeks for a session. So that's the way you would go for retail. The other two options, if you are already with Solex and you already have a subscription, then you can get it at the loyalty price, which is the Infinity One loyalty price is $9.95. But just say you were new to all of this, there is a way that you could join with Solex and get a subscription either as a preferred customer, number 2, or a quantum living advocate, number 3. And you could use the technology, and the technology, even if you just used it for a month and then you dropped it, you might fall in love with the technology after a month and go, I actually want to use that with Infinity Wand. What the AO scanner does, our other product, is it might show you where on the body that you need to wand. So, it can scan things like, your spine, and it might show up areas in the spine that are inflamed, and you may use that area with the wand. There's a hell of a lot more it does. And if you are interested in learning more, then, go back to the person who invited you to this call. But as you can see, as a preferred customer, even with a subscription, you're actually saving. It's 1,184 US.
Amanda, sorry, we can't see that screen. We've still got the testimonial on screen.
From me.
Hang on, can you see it now?
No.
No.
We always have a little glitch, don't we? A little techie glitch. Last time Amanda couldn't speak, you were muted, weren't you?
Let me just go back in and see. Is that better?
That's it, yes. We'll talk about the stand in a minute too. Somebody asked a question in the chat about that.
So can everyone see the pricing now? Sorry.
We got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Right. So the retail is number 1. And then the other two options I was talking about is to join up as a subscription, which is 149 US. You get the Infinity One for $9.95, which is the loyalty price. There's shipping. So it brings it to 1184, which is still even cheaper than buying it as a retail client. Or you really love everything to do with Solex and you want to share the wand. You want to share the Solex AO scanner, then we call you a Quantum Living Advocate, and that gives you a yearly membership for $49, which gives you the rights, kind of like an admin fee for the year, to have the rights to have a bank account and commission and things like that for the honor of sharing this. Plus your subscription, which is $149, plus the loyalty price and the shipping, it's still even cheaper, $1,233 US than the retail. So, it might be something that you think about, do I want to try the subscription or not? Or do I just want to go straight in and just buy the wand? So, if you are sharing it with people, maybe let them know that. And if you're on the call and you're interested, go back to the person who invited you to the call. There's also add-ons like the Infinity Wand stand. And once I stop sharing the screen, Sandra can show you the wand in a moment. But you can see the retail price is $312.50 US. But if you're a preferred or a Quantum Living Advocate, it brings it down to the loyalty price of $250. So yeah, they're just options to compare, things like that. So that's the pricing. So yeah, let's stop the share and come back to the big screen. I think you can sort of see in the background of Sandra's screen, the stand.
So this is the stand here. Actually, I'll turn it on and I'll pop my wand in so you can see what happens. So it is adjustable. I don't know how much you can see. So it is adjustable. It's like on a little tripod, so you can lift it up and lift it down. The arm comes out. So what you do, you put your wand in here. Right, you put your wand in here. There's a little button under here. Hang on, did I turn it on? Yes, I did. What's going on? Oh no, it's not working. Well, this is not very fun, is it? It's not, why? Oh, hang on. It's because I haven't got it plugged in properly. Just bear with me a second. I've got to put this bit in. Can you see that? How it moves?
Yep, can see it, Sandra.
Yeah. So that's how it works. And I think I haven't played with this much, but you can actually open it so that the movement is it goes a little bit wider. So there you go. That's the
stand. So it stands really good if you live alone and you want your back done. You need
absolutely. So that's that.
So let me take you out of that screen back here. So yeah, thank you for joining us tonight. That was just a little bit of info on how we're using the wand. And as I said, yes, we're practitioners and we're using it in practice, but anyone can use it. As I said, I lent it out to my mum, her and her partner use it. I lent it out to a girlfriend the other day. I just, showed them how to turn it on, what the different heating are. There's a timing thing on there as well. And off you go. Obviously the only real damage you can do is they might detox or have a little bit of an emotional outburst, and you just slow it down and rest it, and maybe, don't want them for the rest of the day or the next day, and give them a rest. And just keep your water intake up. Yeah. So has anyone got any questions?
There is a question. How much does a 30-minute wand session cost? So I think we do a package of
okay. So what for me, so I charge $75 Australian for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's like a 10-minute chat. What's going on in your body? I do a little bit extra. I might bring an essential oil in or muscle test and emotion, and then I do a 20-minute session and off we go.
Yeah. I do 65. I do 65 for a session, but I also do 65 for the first session, 75 for subsequent sessions, or a set of 3 for 200. And I do you get the structured water before and after. You get a treatment, and then you also get a little massage to help it all move through.
I mean, as I said, you don't really have to be a practitioner
No.
to be able to use this. So, I mean, anyone could probably be giving sessions like that. Like, I just do them because I have the space and the skill set to, say, oh, do you want to add on a 30-minute session? And sometimes, they might come for an hour kinesiology session and then they book in a half-an-hour session with the wand and combine that, or they just come for that 30-minute session with the wand.
Yeah.
Or I lend it out, and maybe I might start charging to lend my wand out.
You're so good. I don't know if I'm ready to get it out, lend mine out. But Marielle's put a question here. How does this complement the AO scan, and what's the benefit? What's the benefit over the AO scan? It's a good compliment. Like Amanda was saying, you can do a scan and have a look at the areas of the body that might need to be wanded, that might need some, have some inflammation or some pain or some discomfort. So you can use it with the scan in that way. In terms of the benefit of the scan has so much functionality available to it. I think it's, if you were to choose one over the other, I would probably, I think I would go the scanner, wouldn't you, Amanda? I mean, the terahertz is great.
Well, I started with the scanner, so I'd never give up the scanner. But yeah, they're both so good and they're both so different, but it's definitely complements. Like if you think about, your lymphatic system. So, it will show you what part of the lymphatic system might be out. So that might give you some hints what part of the lymphatic system to actually spend some time on or wand. It will, if you're not a practitioner, the AO scanner will give you the emotions that are stored in that lymphatic system. So you might talk to your client or your friend or your family member about some of those emotions that are stuck while you're wanding them. So it's very complementary. It just depends on, how you want to use it.
Yeah, that's it.
And, how far you want to go. But, I guess.
In my English, that maybe because I have the scan, and I was wondering why you would sometimes choose to use the wand when you could also send frequencies.
Yeah,
with
well, it's
the
a different
AO.
type of frequencies because the frequencies in the scan are like Scala and Rife. This is a terahertz and this is red and light frequencies, and it's got the precious stones. So you're actually coming from a different angle. So, I guess you might go, if this is not working, let's try this, or let's combine, let's send them some frequency for that pain while we're actually wanding them. So you could come in with a different approach and a double approach,
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
So Kay's got a question. Do all the functions work at the same time, or can you decide which function you want to use? No, it's all. So once you turn it on, Kay, you get the benefit of everything that we talked about. So the gold and silver ionic exchange, red and blue light therapy, all the crystals, the whole lot comes through the heat out here.
Yeah, it's a one for all. You can't switch anything off.
No. Somebody's already answered that. You can also use the scanner to imprint the infinity wand. Yep.
You need the illuminator. I don't have the illuminator. I know
I've
Sandra
got
has
the
it.
illuminator. I don't use the illuminator very much, but what I know about the illuminator, that it was initially designed for women to check their breast tissue, to make sure that there's no sign of cancer in there. So it was very specifically designed for that reason. And then you also use the wand. I don't think I've got it here. No, it must be inside. But you use the wand, can use the wand on your face for putting in serums to help rejuvenate your skin, to keep us looking younger, and for smaller like pain spots. But it's really, the illuminator is just red light. The 660 band is red light, orange light, and then you've got the infinity wand, which has got red and blue light, and then all the other stuff in it. Yeah, DJ says she uses her illuminator less now that she's got the wand. Yes, I don't use my illuminator as much now. I use the wand. I use the wand a lot.
However, the illuminator is smaller than the wand. So if you're traveling a lot and you didn't want to carry the wand, you might want to go with the illuminator.
Yeah, it's probably about that big. Would you use the wand for facials? You could, I guess.
Down low on the zero heat.
Yeah.
Because it can do like the face lifting type, getting into the cells, and I use my illuminator for my gums, which has glue for Invisalign at the
Invisalign.
moment. Wow. That was from Bryony. So yeah, Bryony uses it. Anyone else use the illuminator? I haven't got one, so I don't want to melt the glue.
Yeah.
For facials and travel, yeah. Yeah.
That's a good idea, Kylie.
Didn't you start using the illuminator on a pain site for someone, Sandra?
Yes, for their
Were you
knees.
using that at the
Actually,
start?
it's Lisa, my
Yeah.
hairdresser. She's got the illuminator and she's got the wand. So yeah, she's got both. I used to use the illuminator on my knee because many years ago I fell down a flight of stairs in Italy, and it's only when I kneel on my knee that it's I can feel the pain. But I've actually been wanding. I'm not consistent with the wanding on my knee, but I noticed that it is I can kneel on it without causing me as much discomfort as I used to. I found it really difficult to kneel on my right knee. So yeah, I use it for that, use it for my hair. I use it if I've got two stepsons and they're both teenagers, 14 and 17. And when they come to stay with us, I will get out the wand and wand them on their shoulders, on their neck, and they love it. They love it. So I really love the fact that I'm able to do that for them.
Beautiful. Is there any other questions? We're kind of, a little bit over time. No? Okay. Beautiful. Thank you all for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Hopefully you've learnt a little bit, and if you are interested in knowing more, go back to the person who invited you to the call. And if you are in Solex already, I think there is a $250 voucher or something at the moment. Correct me. You get points or something. So yeah, if you were thinking about buying the wand, it might be a good time. And I think that's till the end of June.
Yep. It's what is it? Spend 500 and you get a
500.
$250 credit. Yes.
Yeah, you get $50 credit. So this is definitely your $500 mark plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing is if once you're a member if you a QLA for 3 months and you've got current membership, you also get a 30% discount, don't you? So that's something to consider too.
Yeah, after 3 months.
After 3 months.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm just checking the chat if there's anything else. Spend 500, yep, to get 250.
See.
Beautiful. All right.
Yeah,
well,
thanks everyone for joining us.
Beautiful evening, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. It was a wonderful call.